So, for people that didn't notice, I sat through every speaker the last day. Yesterday, there's a reason behind that. One, I always enjoy being around greatness. Number two, as Alex said, I want to learn from everyone. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to summarize, because we know we didn't get a chance to ask a lot of questions, and I know you have tons of questions. So I'm going to try to summarize what everybody said and put it in the language of winning for each individual here. So the first thing I need everybody to do is close your eyes. There was a lot of talk about heroes and superpowers. I'm going to help everyone discover or remind them of what one of their superpowers is. Every win starts and ends in silence, in the dark, when it's just you and your private thoughts. I want everybody in this room to take a quick journey into the world, but not just any world, into the world that's going on inside of you. I want you to go to a time when no one believed in you, when no one believed in your dreams, no one believed in your words, no one believed in your thoughts, no one believed in your actions. Now I want you to go even deeper. Go to a time when you didn't believe in your dreams. You didn't believe in your thoughts. You didn't believe in your words. You didn't believe in your actions. Now, I know a lot of individuals right now are feeling pain of that moment. I don't want you to think about what you felt during that moment. I want you to turn your heart off. I want you to remember what you did that got you to this point. When nobody believed in you, when you didn't believe in yourself. What got you here? What thoughts, what actions, what dreams? Turning your heart off and turning your mind on. That is one of your superpowers. When you're in the worst possible situation, they brought you to this point here. It's unique to each individual in this room. Nobody can take it from you. Nobody can touch it. Open your eyes, stand up, and give yourself the biggest freaking round of applause because you are here. That's it. But how? By giving you a unique understanding of the language of winning. What I'm going to take is all the preconceived notions that you've heard in the past that people have told you are bad for you. You shouldn't act this way. You shouldn't think this way. You shouldn't do those things. And tell you why everybody is wrong. Why everybody is wrong. Because the language of winning has no BS. None whatsoever. Now, David was up here earlier, and he was talking about the greats that were way up here. All right? He was talking about those individuals that are just way up here. All right? Those are my people. Those are my clients. Those are the individuals that look at me for results. Those are the individuals that I go to war with. Those are the individuals I break bread with. Those are the individuals I cry with. Those are the individuals I win with. Those are the individuals I lose with. Those are the individuals I go to war with. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, Aaron Donald, Phil Heath, and the list can keep going on and on and on. What do all those individuals have? They've won multiple times over and over and over again. But you know what they trusted me in? They trusted me not only with their results, they trusted me with something even more important. They trusted me with their sacrifices. How many individuals in your life trust you with your sacrifices? Do you trust yourself with your sacrifices? Everybody in here wants to get to the next level. It's very simple. You can make 2 lists. And I can tell you if you're going to get to the next level or not. Make a list of what you want to do to get to the next level. And on the other side of the list, what are you willing to do to get to the next level? And if that list doesn't match, you are so far away from winning, you have no chance. You have no chance. None whatsoever. We talked about heroes in here. Vic brought it up numerous times. Heroes, heroes, heroes. And we've all seen movies with superheroes over and over again. What is the one thing that all superheroes have in common? They all failed. They all failed. If you saw the Marvel comics, Thanos took them all out. Every single one of them. So when you look for somebody else to be your hero, when you look for someone else to be your hero, you're setting yourself up for failure. You are your own hero. You have your own superpowers. Your kids look up to you as their hero. Why don't you believe that you are your own hero? Why don't you believe that you're worthy of being that individual over and over and over again? Now, I don't get into motivation. If we look at the name of this conference is called Rise Up. Live your max life. Rise up. It doesn't say start up. Rise up is not about motivation. It's not about inspiration. When you rise, what do? You elevate. elevate. So if you want to have that max life, you need to elevate your thoughts. You need to elevate your actions. There's a huge difference between motivation and elevation. Motivation is what you require from somebody else. It's so freaking entry level. It's when you need somebody else to light your fire every single day, over and over and over and over again. It's external. Elevation is internal. It's what you demand of yourself. And here's the thing. When you allow others to motivate you, you know what you're doing? You're giving away control. You're giving away control. Now, we all need motivation at some point. We do. But at some point, you got to be a self-starter. I never had to motivate any of my clients. The best of the best never had to motivate them. I had to elevate them. I had to elevate them. Motivation is a feeling. It's a feeling. Elevation is a state of mind. It's a state of mind. It doesn't fluctuate. I spent 9 years with Kobe Bryant. I have so many individuals that talk about mama mentality, mama mentality, mama mentality. Let me tell you something. Mama mentality is not a mentality. It's a lifestyle. It's a freaking lifestyle. People go to the gym, man, I got mama mentality. Well, what did you do after the gym? And there's so many individuals in here that are dabbling in a mentality instead of making the transition to a lifestyle. Motivation is a mentality. Lifestyle is elevation. So start making that transition from where it's just a mentality where it becomes a lifestyle, where it literally becomes a lifestyle over and over and over again. And I'm going to give you examples right now. Right? Who in here is interested in taking themselves and their business to the next level? Stand up, give yourself a round of applause. Where in the world? You think Vic Timness and his wife were just interested in throwing an event? You think Elon Musk is just interested in whatever the fuck he's interested in this week? You think Jeff Bezos is just interested in shipping packages? These people are obsessed. But see, when we talk about obsession, we think of it as a bad word. When people say, I'm obsessed or I'm obsessed with something, oh my God, no. Let me tell you, you know what obsessed people do? They give interested people something to talk about. That's what obsessed people do. You know what interested people do? What interested people do? All right, what interested people do? Oh man, I'll talk to you later. This is my stage. All right? You know what interested people do? All right? They watch obsessed people change the world. All those individuals I talk about, they change the world. In one way or another. Stop being interested. Interested is a hobby. Interested is a hobby. And you know what interested people do? It gives you an out. When you're interested, it gives you an out. Obsession, there is no out. You know what happens? In interested, people say yes. When you're obsessed, you say no. No, I'm not going out. No, I'm not hanging out. No, I'm not doing this. I'm coming to Japan. There's a huge difference between the two. There's a huge difference between the two. Ego and confidence. Ego and confidence. Everybody tells you an ego is bad. It's a bad thing. It's a bad thing. Let me tell you the difference between the two. And everybody's done this. Everybody has done this. All right? And again, stand up and be honest with yourself. Because you want honesty. You want to be the best version of yourself. You want to be a greater person. You got to be honest with yourself. It starts right now. You ask everybody else to be honest with you in your relationships. What's the first thing you ask for? To be honest, because you're not honest with yourselves. So don't lie to me in here. Don't lie to yourself. We've all done this. Who's done this? Man, I'm going to prove them wrong. Stand up. I'm going to prove them wrong. I'm going to prove them wrong. I had an idea. Somebody said something. I'm going to prove them wrong. When you try to prove somebody wrong, that's your ego talking. You know what you have to do first? You got to prove yourself right. When you prove yourself right, that's confidence. Yes. That's confidence, which builds the ego. Here's the difference between the two. All right? Ego only hears criticism. It only hears criticism. Confident people hear only feedback. It could be criticism and feedback. It's exactly the same thing. It's how you hear it. And the reason you have to prove yourself right first is because when you build your confidence, now you have a big ego. Now you can back it up. Now you have the results to prove it. You have things to show for it. You have those results that add up all the single time, every single day. When you have an ego and you don't have the results, they have the littlest confidence. So you need both. You need both. Confidence over ego. Confidence makes the ego grow. Confidence allows the ego to have the data and the results it needs to be able to back it up. We start to think a little differently. We start to understand what I'm trying to say over here. Over and over and over again. Let's talk about pressure. Oh my God, I'm under so much pressure. I'm like, oh man, pressure is just, it's all around me. It's all around me. I don't know what to do. Pressure is a gift, folks. Pressure is a privilege. You know what pressure is? Pressure means somebody believes in you. And when you start acting like that, that means you don't believe in yourself. The only difference between pressure and stress is pressure you decide not to deal with every single day. That's the only difference. Pressure defines who an individual is and who they're not. But it also defines who they can become. Put an individual under a pressure situation and see the results they produce. Pressure is a gift. If anybody's wearing anything shiny, how do you think that thing was made? It was made with pressure. It was made with stress. You should never run away from pressure. You should run towards it. You should run towards it. So it can define you as a human being. How many times have you ran from a pressure situation when you should be running towards it? And again, on the stage, we heard many times, man, you got to push yourself. You got to push yourself. You got to push yourself. Everybody in this room entered through those doors. Right? Yeah. To get in here, did you push those doors or did you pull them?
Pull them.
Who pushed? Who said they pushed? Stand up good by the door and push your way in there. Push your way in right now. We'll see you in 2 weeks. When you only limit yourself to a push, that gives you only one way. Sometimes you gotta pull. Sometimes you gotta climb. Sometimes you gotta crawl. Sometimes you gotta reach. Sometimes you gotta slither. You make it too simple for yourself. Because if I can't push my way through this, what else am I going to do? Don't limit the way you think. And we have too many individuals in here that overthink things. That overthink. There's a huge difference between thinking and knowing. Huge difference. Now I'm going to call out a few people in the audience. I'm going to point to you. Just stand up. All right. Young man right there. What do you want? Too late. Sit down. Too late. Sit down. You hesitated. All right. What do you want? Legacy. Young man right there. What do you want? Impact. What do you want? All right. What do you want? Miranda, what do you want? Change the world in positive direction. That's the difference between knowing and thinking. When you think, you hesitate. You have so many overthinkers in here. You have so many overthinkers in here. You know what overthinking is? The art of creating problems that don't exist. That's it. You think Michael Jordan thought about, man, what happens if I miss this shot? You think Tom Brady thinks about, man, if I throw this pass, it's going to get intercepted? You think Djokovic is worried about the net? We have so many individuals here that are frozen because they think instead of knowing. But it takes years and years and years of thinking to know what to do. You hear this in sports all the time. Man, that athlete is thinking too much. He should just go out there, or he or she should just go out there and don't think. It takes years and years of thinking not to be able to think. Years and years and years. And this goes back to routines now. Every individual here has a routine. Who wants to share their morning routine with me? Anybody? Yes, young lady.
Morning routine, get up at 4:30 in the morning, say my affirmations, get to the gym 5 to 6, 6:15 to 7, I have to say my role play, and by 8:30 I'm in prospecting.
You're in the prospecting. Okay, so now let me ask you something. Is that routine built out of comfort or skill?
Skills.
Out of skills. Okay. And what do skills create?
Momentum.
Skills create comfort. Skills create comfort. So what happens is we have two individuals in here. Every individual in here has two types of routines. All right? You have a morning routine that you do over and over and over and over again that creates comfort out of boredom. You do the same shit over and over and over and over and over again. And it creates comfort out of boredom. Then there's individuals that do the same routine over and over and over again through skill. And that also creates comfort where you don't have to think. When I was with the Olympics with Kobe Bryant, Coach K was a basketball coach at that time. He called Kobe and myself over. He goes, "Hey, Kobe, you're going to get open shots." Kobe said, "Coach, what you been drinking, man? I've been playing the league so long, I'm never getting an open shot." He goes, "No, in this offense, you're going to get an open shot." He goes, "Where are you going to get the open shots from?" He goes, "You're going to get open shots from both corners." This is where the open three-pointer that you see in the NBA in the corner started from. Kobe goes, "I don't shoot corner threes." He goes, "I don't shoot them. Never have in my offense." And so, okay, fine. That same day. All right. Remember, the Olympics are 3 months away. 3 months away. Every single day, from that moment on, every single day, he would make 500 corner threes from one side and 500 from the other side. Every day. And the reason I know that, because I was the one running around rebounding the ball. And if anybody knows anything about basketball, when you miss a shot from the corner, that ball goes all the way down to the other end. And I know you've been watching me pace back and forth on the stage, and you can see my walk ain't the most straightest. But every single day, he built comfort out of skill. Out of skill. When Dan up here talks about his social media, when he talks about the Instagram, when he talks about the TikTok, when he talks about the Twitter, when he talks about all those things over and over again, he's giving you information that he's done repetitively over and over and over again, and built that comfort through skill, where he can talk about and tell you, this is what you do, this is what happens, da da da. When you're on Facebook, don't talk about YouTube, all these things. He's done those things. What are your routines? What are your routines? Are they actually challenging you? Are you just going through the motions? What are they actually doing? Now, yesterday, during the event, there was a lot of sunshine. Right? Winning wore a halo yesterday. It wore a halo yesterday. We talked about how awesome winning was, how amazing it was, how satisfactory it was, how gratifying it was. Well, today, winning is wearing fangs. And guess what? On every particular day, you don't get to decide. You don't get to decide. Winning makes that decision for you. So today, the side that I'm talking about winning is the unpolished, the uncivilized, the nasty, the dirty, the unapologetic. The reason most of you are not successful is because you're afraid of success. You really are. Of what success brings you. What you'll have to sacrifice. What you'll have to give up. When I told you earlier about those lists, David was up here and he talked about friends. He talked about friends in the foxhole. Your friends will never get in the foxhole with you. Only your allies will. And there's a huge difference between friends and allies. There's a huge difference. Friends tell you what you want to hear. Allies tell you what you need to hear. And we don't like to have those individuals around us. We do not like to have those individuals around us. I have 0 friends that have a lot of allies. I have a lot of allies. Allies will always tell you what you need to hear. They will be honest with you. Surround yourself with allies. And your allies, many of your allies aren't even your closest friends. They're not even your closest friends. Magic talked about the business thing, about the families. How he just pays his family to stay away. We have so many individuals in here. We have so many individuals in here that are paying attention to their enemies and are forgetting to watch their friends. Pay close attention. Pay close attention. Alex was on stage. You could just hear the passion in his voice. You could just hear it. How badly he wants everybody to win. How much he wants to give back. I know one thing. If you ever invite me to dinner at your house, I'll bring in some earplugs, man. That voice of yours, whoo! You got the whole family like that? But that's from the heart. That's from the heart. And here's the thing. People like him, David, Vic, Magic, all these Jay Cutler, all these individuals, when they give you their time, when they give you their information, the reason they're so passionate about it is because they want you to take this information. The worst thing they want you to do is to leave this room and leave the same thing in the same way. Because then we feel like we didn't do our jobs. We underdelivered. So something's got to happen before everybody leaves this room. There's a part of you that's got to be left behind. There's a part of you that has to be left behind. There's a part of you that cannot, when you walk out of this conference, when you're done tomorrow with this conference, a piece of you has to stay here. When they move all this equipment away, they need to take that piece with them. There's not an individual in this room that doesn't have a habit, a thought, or action that they need to delete right now. And I'll go even further. Somebody in your life. And you know who exactly that individual is. Hopefully that individual is not sitting next to you. And if they are, if there's any divorce lawyers in here, we got some business coming your way. You're so afraid of becoming that individual. Let me tell you something. Be more afraid not to become that individual. Be more afraid not to become that person. We have so many individuals in here that are not their true self. Think about how much time and energy you've spent being somebody you're not. And if you took that time and energy into being exactly who you are, you know your identity, you know your purpose, how much farther you would be along in life. That shield on that phone can only protect you for so long. We had a young lady that was in here yesterday. She said she had over 1 million followers on her Instagram. Yet when she got up to ask a question, that shield was no longer protecting her. How many individuals in here are living lives through filters, just like you do on your social media? Ask yourself that honest question. You spend more time putting up a perfect picture of a piece of food. Because you're so worried about being judged. When I told you about individuals, when they trusted me, with their sacrifices. When you trust somebody with their sacrifices, there's no judgment. There's absolutely no judgment. David touched on balance a little bit. I want to go a little farther into it. I'm going to make this real easy for each individual in here. There are tons of books out there over and over and over again that tell you about balance, balance, balance. Let me make this real easy. There is no balance. You do not find balance. You create it, and it's different for each individual in this room. That's it. And the people that tell you you need more balance have the most unbalanced lives they've ever had, and they tell you you need more balance. All right? And you know why they may have balanced lives? Because you're carrying all their shit for them. You can say yes to an individual 100 times, and the one time you say no, they look at you completely different.
Yeah.
And no is a complete sentence. We have too many individuals in here that justify. You know, you look up no, no, period. That's it. It does not require an explanation. Because if it requires an explanation, that means you don't believe it. Obsession requires, what did I say? Requires you to say no. It requires you to say no. When you talk about balance, all right? Here's a question for each individual in this room. Who wants zero love? Raise your hand. Who wants zero success? Raise your hand. Who wants zero money? Raise your hand. Who wants zero happiness? Raise your hand. What's the number on a perfectly balanced scale?
0.
It's a freaking 0. It's a 0. You balance all those things out, you know what you have? You got average. That's what you have. You have average happiness. You have average love. You have average success. You have average wealth. That's what you have. You got a balanced life. And here's the thing. When people tell you you need more balance, what do? You add, you add, you add, you add. Now you got more things to juggle. You know how you get closer to balance? It's not by the addition, it's by the deletion. Get rid of the unessentials. Get rid of the unessentials. You know how you win over and over again? Everybody thinks, I gotta add more, I gotta add more, I gotta add more. Every single year for 6 championships with MJ, 2 with Kobe, 3 with Dwayne Wade, 7 with Phil Heath, 1 with Aaron Donald. What do we gotta do to get better? We gotta delete. Because now winning requires more time. That's why you very rarely see people win over and over and over again. Because they think they can do it the exact same way. Forget what you have to add. What do you have to delete? What do you have to delete out of your life to get more of the life that you want? Who are the individuals that you have to delete? Who are the mindsets? These are decisions that you have to make. And I didn't say hard decisions. These are decisions. I'm not here to tug at your heartstrings. I rip your heart out of your chest and take you look at it so you can understand what the hell is making it beat. People ask me, what's wrong with you? If you've read my books, you should already know. Everything. Everything. I'm obsessed. I'm crazy. I know what I want. Each individual in this room is a little off. Each individual in this room is crazy. Each individual in this room potential to be great. We all have greatness inside of us. Every individual in this room has greatness inside of us. Newsflash, for most individuals, that's exactly where it's going to stay. It's going to stay. I can't put greatness inside you. You know why? It's already there. I can't put confidence inside you. You know why? It's already there. But you know what I can do? Who's not confident in this room? Stand up if you feel like you're lacking some confidence. All right? Yeah, we got some honest folks in here. Love them. All right? Love them. If you're lacking confidence, stand up. All right? No one's here to judge. No one's here to judge. All right? Now, let me tell you about confidence. All right? For individuals that are lacking confidence, they were at some point, you gave somebody permission to take that confidence from you. There was a moment in time, there was an event, there was an individual that took that confidence from you. No one can take something from you unless you give them, that's inside of you, that you give them permission to. Unless you give them permission to. That's the only way they can take it. And for the individuals that are lacking confidence, you know exactly when that moment was. You know exactly what happened. You know exactly who that individual was. Go get it back. It's yours. Go get it back. I want to elaborate a little bit more on when David talks about the races all the time. You know, he's all mad. Bike miles, I don't know, 200 miles, 180, 150, and then goes run whatever he's doing. All right. Let me tell you something. When you have individuals that are chasing something, and that's what he's doing. He's always chasing something. I want each individual in here, I want you to always be chasing something. All right? You got to understand this. Before you can chase something, you got to deal with what's chasing you. All right? You got to deal with what's chasing you. And here's the thing. No matter how far David goes, whether he goes 50 miles, 100 miles, 1,000 miles, when he comes back home, 300-pound David is waiting for him. David is waiting for him. And he's got to deal with it every single day. Every single day. And here's the individuals. I know we all don't have individuals and friends that do this, that you can call at a snap of a dime and they just show up at your place and so forth. Well, you know what? You do have individuals like that in your life. You do have individuals in your life. All right? But you know what you did with them? You shoved them in the closet. You shoved them in the closet. You know who will show up every single day, no matter what your day was like, how bad it was, how much help you need, how great you are? Your skeletons. The skeletons that you put in your closet that allows you to be here, that were with you during that time when nobody believed in you because you're worried about what people are going to say and judge you. You put the best part of you in the closet. You put the one thing that can help you through anything and everything. That voice that you hear, that's those skeletons. They're the ones that tell you to keep going. They're the ones that believe in you when nobody else did. That's the real you. Man, I take my skeletons everywhere. I fly first class, they fly private. I drink top shelf tequila, they drink shit I can't even pronounce. Wherever I go, they're with me. They're with me. And we have conversations all the time. All the time. Because winning never lies. Winning never lies. And everybody, when you talk about skeletons, we talk about the dark. Everybody thinks the dark is a bad place. Oh my God, let me tell you, the darkness, it's a bad place. And you have so many individuals that go out there and say, you know, the darkness is an illusion. No, you know what the thing is? The illusion is thinking it doesn't exist. And the bigger part of the illusion is thinking that it's only a bad place. When does a new day start, folks? When does a new day start? Starts at midnight. Everywhere you go in the world, it starts at midnight. Is it light or dark at midnight? It's dark. So if a new day and a new beginning starts in the dark, where in the hell do you think your new beginning and your new day starts? In the dark. So when somebody puts you in a dark position, dark situation, that's where your growth is. That's where your next level of greatness is. We've already, I know my time ran out, I'm gonna fucking keep going. Every individual in here has read a fairy tale or had a fairy tale read to them. And everybody talks about a fairy tale life. I want a fairy tale life. But what happens right in the middle of a fairy tale? It's a dark forest. There's a dark moment. Think about your life. The reason you are where you are is what you did during that dark moment. Did you run? Or did you stay there and say, I'm going to figure this out? This is my growth area right now. And we've all been broken. Every individual in here has been broken. And I've never shared this on stage. This is going to be the first time. This is an exclusive. Broken is a gift. Let me tell you why. All right? I've been broken so many times you can't break me anymore. But let me tell you why being broken is a gift. All right? When you break something, people tell you, pick it up. You know, if you've broken something in your mama's house or somebody's broken something anything, man, you pick it, they tell you pick up the pieces. You don't want them to know it's broken. You pick it up, you try to put it all together again, it never looks the same. So when you're broken, what happens? There's all these pieces that are laying on the floor. Guess what? You get to decide what piece you want now. You get to leave the pieces you don't want behind. You want to leave envy down there. You want to leave jealousy down there. You want to leave hate down there. You want to leave judgment down there. You get to leave them all down there. But here's the crazy part, and this is the part I've never shared with anybody else. What happens when you pick all those pieces up and you put them back together again? Through those cracks, what is that? There's light. There's light. That's winning, saying, come on. Come on. And you're so worried about piecing yourself back together again, you cover the light up. Because you're afraid of being broken. When you didn't realize that being broken is a gift. It's showing you light. It's calling you to what's next. Follow me. Follow me. It's your first step to your next. It's your next step to your next. And it just keeps going. It just keeps going. You don't think Michael Jordan's been broken? You don't think so Kobe Bryant's been broken? You don't think so Tom Brady's been broken? You don't think so Elon Musk has been broken? You don't think so Vic Tickness has been broken? You don't think so his wife Juliana's been broken? You're absolutely right. You don't have to think. You should know they've all been broken. Every individual in this room has been broken. Numerous times. That's why you succeed. That's why you succeed. I'm gonna take 2 minutes real quick. We'll go over this little Rocky video that was on there. The one thing about Rocky, if you noticed, and obviously this was, again, this was one of David, and I want to explain, because everybody's like, wow, why is David the way he is? Why can he be the way he is? Oh, the one thing he wanted to point out, he talked to some lady about just say, hey, just tell them people, hey, fuck off, or whatever it was, and he said, don't do that. All right, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. All right, you're not David Goggins. All right, you have not earned. There's a small muscle. There's a very small muscle. All right, that people forget to flex. But David and myself, we've mastered to flex that muscle. It's called the IBGAF muscle. And most individuals in this room, you have not earned the right to flex that muscle yet. So be careful. You start flexing it, and it doesn't have the power, your ass won't be out of business. And everybody thinks that, because when he said it, everybody got caught up and started clapping and all this other stuff. You go home and you tell your boss right now, hey, da-da-da, and you got nothing else planned, see what's happening. Be careful. Be careful. Back to the Rocky thing. When they were talking about people getting up, if you watch Rocky get up there, all right, he took his time getting up. Crawled a little bit. He got onto the rope. He leaned against the rope. So when you crawl, when you fall down, don't jump right back up. Because everybody tells you that. You're so embarrassed when you fall down. Oh man, you got to clean up your clothes. You got to do this. You look around, who's watching? When you fall, stay down there. Understand why you're down there. Because if you jump right back up, you're standing up the exact same person. When you stand up, you got to be different. And you know what different does? Different scares people. Different scares people. So when you fall, stay down there. Understand why you fell. Next time you're going to stand up, you're going to stand up smarter. You're going to fall again, you're going to stand up more intelligent. You're going to fall again, you're going to stand up again. You're going to be more resilient. You fall, you stand up again, you're going to be more competitive. But you know what the greatest thing about falling is? Every time you fall, you have to spend less time down there. But you still have to spend some time down there. You still have to spend some time down there. In order to be different, in order to be unique, in order to learn that lesson. I need everybody to stand up, please. Put your hands on your heart.